really important that you start understanding the risks. Say you are an excavation contractor and there's a geotechnical baseline report and it's detailed so much that it says you're going to have, you should expect 5 gallons per minute of flow for any 40 feet of excavation. The geotechnical baseline reports can get that detailed. So the owner has then taken responsibility. If you get 5.1 gallons a minute for over 40 foot of excavation, guess what? You have a change because you're pumping more water than what you contracted for. That's where we're starting to get into true contract administration. That becomes an owner risk. And when you understand those risks, now you've got to start managing them. And who's the best person to understand and start managing those risks? I think it'll shock most of you.
What person is going to be on site?
Your foreman.
Your foreman, what person is going to be on site?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as you're going through this, understanding the risks, do you tell your foreman?
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah.
Our foremen were part of our contract administration process. They were actually in the room, and when we would finalize the plan, we would train them on contract administration. They provide a vital role because they're the ones that are going to be the first ones to identify it, and they have to start getting the evidence. So it's very important that your foremen are aware of that.
Documentation.
Yep. So, knowing the risks in contract administration, you want to have a firm knowledge of a specific project, its drawings, the specifications, the location of the work, characteristics, etc. The other thing that you need to look at is your personal experience or your company's experience with that type of work. That becomes a risk. Okay? Knowledge of and the experience with the means and methods intended to perform the work. Say that you're going to be doing some milling on asphalt, and you decide, I've seen this new piece of equipment, and I think it's going to be a great piece of equipment to do this milling, but you've never used it before. That's a little bit of a risk because your people don't understand that piece of machinery, and there could be a learning curve that they're going to have to get used to that equipment. Your experience with the schedule and then the sequence. And that's why I said you got to talk with the GCs and understand how you fall into their sequence. Mm-hmm. And if you can say, a lot of big GCs will put together a P6 schedule when they're bidding work. So you could just say, I know you've put together a schedule. Am I going to be working, in the spring, in the summer, in the fall, what year, etc. And they'll give you a good idea when you're bidding the work to when you're going to perform it.